So let me give you a local news example of what's going on when we do have diversity in a newsroom, and why diverse opinions and people from different communities matter, okay? So when I first started here in my profession, I was lucky enough to have an internship at Fox 59 down the street. And that internship turned into a full-time job, which was incredible. What also was incredible was they put me in charge of the assignment desk. And the assignment desk, at the time, it was on the weekends. So I had no managers to be able to check my news instincts. I had no one to tell me whether or not I was right or wrong about what stories were important and what we were covering. And at the time, when I was here in the 90s, there was a huge crack epidemic going on. So while there was a big crack epidemic, there was a slew of homicides. We had so many homicides every day, and it was new for the city to experience that. We also had police corruption scandals, a mayor corruption scandal, and we had serial killers. I mean, it was an intense kind of baptism by fire. So the first thing I want to show you is a story that we did. We didn't get it because somebody sent us a press release. We didn't get it because we read it in the newspaper like we did do a lot of other stories. Instead, what happened was we had two people who had gone to church. And while they were at church, they heard, as good churches do, about this experience that somebody in the neighborhood had had. And this was a man who had been terribly beaten by the police. And this poor man, was just eating at a restaurant. I don't know exactly how it started, but as he was leaving, the police literally beat him bloody on the sidewalk. And so when he went to go and complain about that, what the police said was, "Oh, you just tripped and fell when you left the restaurant." We've all heard these kind of horrible stories, right? So Mr. Sears is his name. Sears went to his neighborhood and said, "Please come and help me protest." People from the neighborhood came out, hung out outside the police station, had protest signs, just like you would see today, right? And they were peaceful. They weren't doing anything wrong. They were just saying, please pay attention. The police department has treated this man terribly, and all hell broke loose. The police, well, they brought out, they peppered sprayed the crowd. They put on riot gear. They brought out big armored vehicles. They had dogs. It was like a classic horrible thing. But we were there early, in large part because we had two African-American photographers who heard about it at church. So these two photographers were good, and they came to us and told us something's going down in the neighborhood. And I was listening to the scanner, I was paying attention to the radio, but the police were not talking about this. So had we not had these guys who had gotten up early on a Sunday morning and gone to church, had they not been a part of the community, we probably would have heard about it when the riot police were out there, but we got there so much earlier, and we got the real truth of the story because we were there at the beginning, and we could see how people were being treated, and it was not good. Because, the authority, of course, wanted us to believe everything's fine, this man deserved it, but because we had diversity in our newsroom and a connection, we were able to get it.